Ring up Graeme Kenna.
This is the voicemail of Graeme Kenna from the Legal Department for Adult Services in Bradford Council. Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
After you've finished your message, just hang up. Or to hear more options, please press 1.
Yes, hello, Mr. Kenna. It's Mr. Hussain here, once again, leaving yourself another daily message like I've been doing, like a broken record ever since the 10th of October 2023, and today is the 22nd of June 2024, and with that short break from, I believe, the 27th of March till the 8th of May, I've sent you a daily message every single day as the council solicitor, and yet you are failing to engage with me or respond to any of my correspondence or provide me with the basic of information like how have you taken my brother from my care, what legal framework you've used. Simply stating the words best interests, safeguarding, deprivation of liberty does not qualify as an adequate answer. The reality is that you've not gone to court, you're not his nearest, you've not been authorized to take any decisions regarding his health and welfare. All you've really done is when the kitchen got too hot for you and I was looking to expose the fraud and deception that I'd been subjected to in the magistrate's proceedings that you had instigated the housing association to pursue, and I had made it quite clear that I was looking to expose your fraud and corruption, your collusion with the courts and tribunal services, no doubt spearheaded by Nick Goodwin, who was previously the public guardian that has murdered my mother, and all your other associates, then proceeded to instruct the police to come down and abduct my brother from my care and have me arrested, which then facilitated your ability to have me further removed from the premises, so that I was operating as a care home at a cost of £350 million, and subsequently made me homeless, and now have then proceeded to machinate further plans in order to further derail my ability to care for my brother and put me into this situation. And I'm subsequently leaving you daily messages. Why would you not look to engage with me rather than hiding behind the corporate veil and committing acts of villainy and tyranny through your policies and procedures, and hiding behind rather than engaging with me fully and openly and transparently, because you know you've done something wrong that has led to the fatality of my father in 2009, the direct murder and entrapment of my brother a decade ago in September 2014, now the direct murder of my mother in January 2022, and I'm also simply asking you to answer these questions. Just like, come and engage with me, and you're refusing to do so because you know you've got a guilty conscience. All you're looking to do is make sure your paperwork is correct, whilst at the same time committing acts of villainy and tyranny against me and my family. You've held my brother now for 319 days. It's just shy of 334 days, the amount of time period that it took you to torture and murder my mother to death, and now you're torturing my brother, directly violating his human rights, and then subsequently using public money, council taxpayer money, on the guise that you are providing adult social care, when the reality is that you're using this money to buy off the judges and the judiciary and all your other associates, including West Yorkshire Police, including the Care Quality Commission, no doubt, the judiciary, the courts, the judges. Everybody is now being utilised and in order to assist you cover up your own systemic failures in adult social care and the mismanaging of public money. I'm leaving you daily messages every single day, simply asking you to engage with me, and yet you're refusing to engage with me because you know you've done something wrong, and you know the fact that it's led to the premature murder of my nearest and dearest. All I'm asking you to do is engage with me. Any other reasonable person would be losing their mind right now. Any other reasonable person would be verbally and physically abusive to you people. I'm not like that. I'm not being verbally or physically abusive to anybody. I'm simply stating the facts that you're owing me £1 million a day now for the deprivation of liberty and the abuses of power that's taking place here. I'm not losing my cool, am I? Unlike yourself, who are looking to do acts of villainy and tyranny and buying off the judges and the judiciary and undermining the British justice system. Once again, I take it these are the British values, aren't they? You make the laws and then you break the laws yourself in order to achieve your objectives, in order for you to save money and act all egalitarian and benevolent and take the moral high ground, while you at the same time commit acts of villainy and tyranny, particularly never more so illustrated than what's happening with me and my family. You are putting us into a situation that's causing us untold harm, suffering, anxiety, and distress. And you're sitting back in your ivory towers as usual, pontificating and dictating what should happen in our lives when you have no authority to do so. You're clearly violating the very laws that you are operating under, the very laws that you purport to be safeguarding, the very laws that you purport to be acting under. You are violating those very laws. What's my brother's rights right now? You've taken my brother Talib from my care and custody, and who was my product. I created the product Talib so to be valuable, to be a valuable of £1 million a week. I created the product Talib, just like I had created the product my mother, and just like I had created my older brother. These are my products, and there's nothing wrong with making people into products in order for them to make in order for me to make financial gain, because I've got the consent authority and jurisdiction to do so. I'm not doing anything harm against them. They have authorized me to do anything and everything I need in order to safeguard their long-term health and well-being. They're my products. They're not your property. And what you've done is, by stealing them from me, you recognize the value that those products are worth, because they're a part of they're trust beneficiaries of a trust fund that I run and operate. And so they're my products, and they're not your product, and they're not because you do not create that product. You do not create the person. God create the person. So they are God's creation, but my product, and they're not your private property. And you are trying to make them your private property so you can do as you please with them without the necessary laws in place. And that's the bottom line, isn't it? You've taken my brother from my custody, my most valuable product, and you've stolen him and are holding him in your a gulag of a prison that you've now privately commissioned in the care home to detain my brother, because the last time you looked to detain my brother was in a mental asylum, namely Linfield Mount Hospital, and it was costing the NHS and the hospital a lot of money to detain my brother under those circumstances. And at that stage, in 2008, you did not have all the legal paperwork in place, and you had to release my brother into my custody. And now, over that time period, since he's released into my care, you've been really working very closely with the judiciary, buying off the judges, particularly Judge Beckley, whom you know without a doubt is a criminal crook who is working for you to rubber stamp your court orders for your benefit. But then again, they're all crooked, aren't they? So was the public guardian.
You're approaching the maximum allowed time for recording a message. If you wish to record further, please choose the append option from the menu. If you've finished recording, just hang up. If you don't carry on recording or hang up, your message will be deleted. To listen to your message, please record the rest of your message after the tone. When you've finished recording, press the hash key.
So was the public guardian, Nick Goodwin, who is now the head of the Courts and Tribunal Services, who was also one of your agents, wasn't he? You've utilized him to achieve your objective, and this is all as an enterprise, unlawful enterprise, to make my brother your property, your private property, to do with as you please, just as you had done in my mother's case. You have made my products into your property. They're my products because they are part of my trust beneficiaries. I have done everything lawful and legal. I don't need to do criminality, unlike yourself, who are desperate to save face and public reputation, just like the post office are. You're the ones that are doing criminality and exposing myself to unnecessary harm, alarm, and suffering. You've made my brother your private property to do with as you please, unlawfully, and there's £1 million a daily charge.
Reached the maximum time available for recording your message. Message sent. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, my product is worth £1 million a day now because of the tyranny and villainy that's been perpetrated by the council by making my brother their private property to do with as they please, so that they can continue to hold him hostage like this. Completely ridiculous.